Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu'alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu ala Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Honorable Professor Zahari Taha, Ph.D. as our lecturer of Basic Research Methodology subject, and hello all of my friends. Hopefully all of you are in a safe and healthy condition. So in this occasion, I would like to present my final presentation regarding the research proposal entitled Implementation Plan of Occupational Safety and Health on the Erection Girder work of Semarang-Demak Toll Road Project with fault tree analysis method. So, for the outline of my presentation today, the first one is about the research background. We'll continue with the research key chart, and then we have problem formulation, and then continue with the research objective, research methodology, research workflow, and then data processing. Okay, so as we could see in the screen now, this is about the literature review or the note card that we used for the research. So we have the first one, the note card regarding the implementation. From this note card, we could know that implementation is the process of the carrying out, execution, practice of a plan, method, or any design, idea, model, specification, standard, or policy for doing something that will refers to the reference number one. And then implementation process could be successful if many tasks between different departments need to be accomplished in sequence, refers to the reference number two. And then person should have a plan in the meaning of a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something, and intention or decision about what one is going to do refers to the reference number three. And then we also have the note card about the heavy construction and also about the erection girder work. So girder is a support beam used in the construction. It is the main horizontal support of a structure which supports the smaller beams, refers to the reference number four. And then note card for occupational safety and health. In here, we could know that occupational safety and health deals with all aspects of health and safety in the workplace and has a strong focus on primary prevention of hazards, refers to the reference number five. And then health and safety of workforce in heavy industry is a burning issue that requires urgent attention, refers to the reference number six. And then international attention to the occupational safety and health has risen since occupational and safety management systems number 18001 at years 1999 was established by the British Standard International and our world certification bodies, refers to the reference number seven. And then if all potential hazards are under control and safe, there will be a safe and healthy work environment which impacts on the well-running production processes, and as a result, the total production will improve, refers to the reference number eight. And then we have note card about the FDA methods or the fault tree analysis. So fault tree analysis is an analytical method that deductive. It means that this method is general to specific. Starts with the set the top event, which is an identification of hazards that have a high risk or danger with a relative risk value height that was symbolized with H. All events that can give rise to the peak event identified in the form of logical tree down until the root of the problem is found, which can result the risk mitigation, refers to the reference number 9. And then fault tree analysis can be used to perform for all types of system level risk assessment process. The purpose of the FDA is to effectively identify cause of the system failure and mitigate the risk before it occurs. FDA is a tool for complex systems that visually displays the logical way of identifying the problem with provide system efficiency analysis to solve the problem, refers to the reference number 10. So all the note card that we use as the literature review in this research already, the first one summarized and also already paraphrased to avoid the the name is the plagiarism. So all this note card already summarized and paraphrased to avoid the plagiarism. And then we get the point about the note card to make the easy of the research and also to support the background of the research that will be conducted later on. Okay, so we enter the research background part. In this part, we could know that the problem that we faced to make this research is going on is about the occupational safety and health in heavy construction industries is a burning issue that requires an urgent attention. So the occupational safety and health should be done to augment the safety standards across all sectors. If the industry constantly pose serious hazard to the workers, refers to Michael and also the Franklin in 2016 or reference number 6. And then to prevent the failure and accident, the occupational safety and health management supposed to be implemented. The implementation will be assessed using fault-tree analysis to identify cause of risk failure and mitigate the risk before it occurs. Refers to the Alex Jason 2010 or reference number 10. So after that, we could develop the research key chart. As we could see in the screen now, the key chart is about the construction. And then the aspects of the construction consist of 3 things, which are the project planner, occupational safety and health, and also the project supervisor. So we could choose the occupational safety and health in this research. And then from the occupational safety and health aspects, we have materials, processes, workers, tools and machine, and also the SOP or standard operational procedures that we will choose in this research. From the SOP, we have the implementation and assessment. Later on, we will assess the risk and also the hazard using the FTA method that we will use the data collection using the qualitative and quantitative, and also we will identification of the problem that we faced during this research, and also we will arrange the flow diagram for this research, will resulting the occupational safety and health implementation assessment due to the potential hazard. After that, we have the problem formulation here. So for the problem formulation, the first one is the how the implementation of the occupational safety and health management of Erection Girder work project on Semarang-Demak toll road construction project. So the underlined word here is the word that already consisted inside the note card. So we could reverse to the note card if you want to know the definition more detail about the underlined words. And then the second one, how to identify the hazard and assess the risk of Erection Girder work project on toll road construction project. And then the last is what are kinds of recommendations for the risk control work on the Semarang-Demak toll road project section 1B at Erection Girder work. After we develop the problem formulation, we could develop the research objective. So the research objective of this research, the first one, is to evaluate the implementation of the occupational safety and health of the Erection Girder work project on Semarang-Demak toll road construction project. The second one, to identify the hazard and assess the risk of the Erection Girder work project on toll road construction project of Semarang-Demak with FTA or fault-tree analysis, and then we could arrange recommendations for the work risk control mitigation on the Semarang-Demak toll road project. I repeat again, for the underlined words, it's already consisted inside the note cards that I already mentioned before in the slide number 3 and 4 after the research outline. Okay, we move to the next part, which is the research methodology. So at research methodology here, we have the research object. So the research was conducted at Semarang-Demak toll road project section 1B at Erection Girder work. Exactly at Jalan Raya Semarang-Demak, kilometer 11.2. And then for the research approach here, we have to conduct a literature study on the occupational safety and health. Second one, we have to compile the theory of each stage of work that conducted at Semarang-Demak Toll Road project. And then the third one, we have to conducting literature study of hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control, or we could make them shorter as hierarchy method. And then after that, we could conduct literature study of the FDA method itself, or fault tree analysis. After that, here we have the data collection method in this research. So for the data collection method, we could collect two data, which is the primary and secondary data. So for the primary data, we have the field observation here. It was conducted with observe each stage that existing on the work development project at Semarang-Demak Toll Road section 1B. And then the second one, we have the identification of the high-risk causes using FDA methods. If the result of the observation obtained a high-risk occupations on the frequency versus severity matrix, so the FDA method will be proceeded with identify the cause of the hazard. And then after that, the last one for the primary data, we have cinematics Girder analysis at Erection Girder work. And then for the secondary data, we will collect the step of Erection Girder work, and then the detail of Girder resign. And then the third is the work accident data. And then the last one is the person in charge list of operational risk management from PT Wijaya Karya Persero. And then for the research methodology, we use the FDA methods. So the supporting reason why I use FDA methods is the first one. FDA was chosen because this method could identify of hazards that have a high risk or danger with relative risk value height, which symbolized with the age. FDA method will also analyze all events that can give rise to the peak event identified in the form a logical tree down until the root of the problem is found, which can result to risk mitigation. Refers to the reference number 9 and 10. Therefore, FDA method is suitable to be conducted at heavy construction research that have a lot of risk probability. So if we could seek more detail regarding FDA, FDA is an analytical method that have deductive characteristic, as I already mentioned before, and starts with the setup event, which is an identification of hazard that have high risk or danger with relative risk value height, or we could symbolize with the age. And also it has two main symbols, namely gates and events. So two stages to carry out FDA methods is the first one, we could define a risk and hazard that have relative high value risk, and then we could visualization of the FDA graphic model. After that, we could develop the research workflow. Okay, for the research workflow, we will start with the conducting the literature review regarding the occupational safety and health, work step of Erection Girder, hierarchy method, and also the FDA method. So it will continue with data collection. That we will collect is the primary and secondary data, as I already mentioned before. And then after that, we will continue with the occupational safety and health planning that will resulting the hazard identification using hierarchy, and also identification of legislative compliance, use the legislation fulfillment list, and then we will continue with the A and B part. For the A part, we will use the hazardous risk identification list that will resulting the risk assessment procedure arrangement using hierarchy method, and also the basic event analysis arrangement using FDA method. So for the risk assessment procedure arrangement using hierarchy, it will resulting the risk assessment procedure, and then for the FDA method, it will resulting the basic event hazardous risk list. After that, those two processes will resulting the risk control using hierarchy method. And after that, the control analysis will be conducted. If it was approved, it will continue with the risk control procedure, and then targeting an occupational safety and health program arrangement, and continue with the target and occupational safety and health program table, and also will continue with the B part. If it was not okay, we will go back to the risk control using hierarchy method. After that, it will be changed until it was approved by the Occupational Safety and Health Department of PT Wijaya Karya. So we have here the part B of the research workflow. We have the occupational safety and health implementation scheduling, and then continue with occupational safety and health implementation schedule, occupational safety and health operational control, which is consisted of the job-based control procedure, predictions and plans for emergency situation, basic training programs, communication and related information regarding the occupational safety and health, and also occupational safety and health inspection and evaluation. After that will be consisted of the checklist, documentation, and list of attendees attachment. After that, it will result in the conclusion and suggestion, and the result is and the research is finished. Okay, so this is the flow chart of the FDA method data processing. The first step is to aim the system first. The system is about the erection girder work. After that, we have to learn the system. We have to learn regarding the erection girder work at the Semarang-Demak toll road project. After that, we could define the top event or the failure that will probably occurs at the Semarang-Demak toll road project construction. After that, after we define the failure, we could construct the logical tree. After we construct the logical tree, we could collect more data and investigate the cause. After that, it will resulting, we could modify and also simplify the tree. If the tree already modified and also simplified, we could analyze the tree with the qualitative and quantitative. If the result is approved, and then we could implement the protection or the risk mitigation. If it was declined or not approved, we should collect more data and also investigate the cause again to gain more data and also the cause to make the tree is more valid and approved by the Occupational Safety and Health Department, that hopefully will be implemented later on if it was approved. And then if this research proposal is approved, and then what to do next is conducted the result and discussion. After that, we could gain the conclusion from the result and discussion, and also the recommendation to make the research is more better, yeah, for the others or for the readers, because the recommendation from the others parties will gain the research is more have more benefits and advantage for us all. Okay, so as the closing, this is the reference that was used in the presentation, the first number until the 10th number of the reference that I already mentioned them in the last sentence of the paragraph, or maybe from the sentence that used to gain the research, and already citate them in the last sentence of the background. So maybe that's all from my presentation today. Prof. Zahari, if there are any mistakes or maybe advice, correction, please let me know. Hopefully Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala always guide and protect us in any kind of condition and situation. And thank you for your attention during this presentation. And inshallah, see you in the next opportunity or in the next occasion. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah, wa ridha wa inayah, wa afu minkum. Assalamu'alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.